Casey Wyatt. I'm one of the rising stars in our group that you've been hearing about for about a year. And it's different to see about the differences amongst us all. But one thing that I say always at all these meetings, there's so much value amongst all of us that comes together in need. Why? Is because I see the questions that are answered today, and I would have answered them a little differently. Somebody that would be worried about what's going to go in the state of Connecticut is jobs, money. How are we going to solve the spending? How are we going to make Connecticut the best state that it is today? We love Connecticut. I love Connecticut. I live in Brampton, Connecticut. And our teachers, they are a little tough. But when you ask a New Haven teacher, they're willing to have a gun, but in Brampton they don't. The guns is not where they should be in the schools. We can build our schools safer. We can do more to make our lives better and make sure a child going to school is safe. And there is never a question. When I was in school, I was worried about getting home at 2 o'clock to watch One Life to Live. Not what's going to happen to me if I'm never going to get there. And I'm almost 50, the youngest in the group, and somebody that sees how we can make these change. And I can, because I've been on the other side, been a Republican. I know where they're coming from. I know why Republicans are willing to support me, a Democrat, because I see where they've been, but they know I have a better quality life, and I see the best where we can leave our states. So not only can we see their answers of where they're heading us, but we're going to lead it, because we also have somebody that's willing to negotiate and talk and answer. So when the question came before, when they come and attack us, what are they going to have on me? They're not going to have much. A year ago, I became the first transgender woman in the United States to run for office as governor. My bags that they say is out there, they're not going to be able to utilize that as a negative. It's a positive, because quality of life for women in the United States is where we're heading. When we heard about pay equity for women, of course that will be a pass. All of the things that Ned Lamont said, I agree with. I think the first time tonight, I think I am the female version of Ned Lamont. And that is the first thing I've ever seen in my life. Because I've said the exact same messages over and over, and I think that's the positive. But you can trust me. I am somebody who comes from a construction background, and one thing that we realize in construction is when you have your most expensive asset that you own, your home, you hand me the keys to demolish it, to buy the things for it, to remodel it, and hand it back to you. That respect is you give me the access to your bank account to spend your money that you is most important again is your assets. And that's something you have to look about in the state of Connecticut. I am in charge of helping and getting the things done for the people of Connecticut. I'm not coming to Hartford to supply all our legislators' missions. I see how we can stop the bill. As an outside, I've been invited to the Capitol twice. I've been on the tour, and if you see what's going on in the Capitol, you would be embarrassed of how our Capitol is run. 1.7 in fringe benefits is paid out of that building. It's not fair. When you can't afford, we put a quarter more on milk. It's not right. So why I stood up and why I got involved in the politics of running for office? I come from the background again, as I said, construction, rebuilding, how we can make this better. And that's where we gotta go next. We need somebody that is amongst all these candidates, every one of them, and I've said this before, will be at the table to help us get this done with me. You would hope they would do the same, because we can see where all of these great values of all of us is inside and needs to win the next election. Now, we also just mentioned ago about infrastructure. We didn't talk about the train service. You know, Metro North is utilizing a lot of our state money, and we don't sometimes feel safe on these trains. That should be the end. We have to make our trains safe. They have to be affordable. We also don't want just everybody work in New York. I'm the first governor ever to stand up and say, New York, we're coming for your jobs. Boston, we're coming from your jobs. And if you know me enough, I'm a tourism person. In Orlando, be prepared, because we're coming for your tourism dollars, and they're coming back to Connecticut. We also talk about tolls. The Republican plan in tolls is they want to put them everywhere. I will never allow that to happen. There's only 8 towns that we actually can make electronic tolls on our borders that would bring in, yes, absolutely, it's actually more, it's $1 billion, not 800 million, that we would see. I also mentioned before, we put a toll at the airports here in Bradley. That alone brings in $10 million just to get out of the airport, to start and do something, which can take to 2023. It can happen immediately if the bill gets passed through. But we also got to make sure the bill gets passed for a transportation fund lockbox. because no legislator should be able to go into that and take that money out of our funds if we do collect this, if it gets passed. I would support tolls only, and only if it's at the borders electronically, and if they give the print that we can put them at the airports. We just talked about a minute ago about bringing in development. New Haven Tweed Airport, which is right in our backyard, it has been proven that 4 million airline tickets are sold from Fairfield to Old Saybrook annually out of this area of Connecticut. What's $4 million times 200? Almost $1 billion. When we look at that money that's going to New York, Bradley, Providence, Boston to fly out of here, we have an airport in our backyard that would finally bring in the port, the cargo areas, and onto the convenience that you guys need to get out and travel to, and bring that travel dollars back to Connecticut. If that airport was built, it also will bring in billions of new money that would not need to come from the taxpayers of the state of Connecticut. We have to stop taxing everything you guys are doing to pay for their bonuses, not for making our state better. So if that airport was built, not only would New Haven be a brand new booming town, skyscrapers that would bring the jobs back to this area, and that's where you need to focus. Our state looks like it's too divided. It's the shoreline and up north. The people up north don't have no clue what's going on here on the shoreline. People in Greenwich feel so separated from upside and what's going on in Hartford. Good, pretty good. So at the same time, that's where we got to start separations. We got to become compassionate to each other. You got to realize you can trust me. We're looking for your support, and I would love to know more about all the questions you have. We have a wonderful website. A 30-minute video is inside my website on my experience, who I am, our plan, economic plan, Sean, and everything that we can bring in the state of Connecticut. A 30-minute movie. Take the time to go to governorwyatt.com. We have our information in the back, but I am J.C. Wyatt. I'm the Democrat, again, the rising star in the group, and I hope to support every one of you on the group, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.